Here in Unit 1c8, we'll talk about some principles of audio recording as it applies to video production. To start, let's talk about ways that an audience might hear audio. You might hear audio in mono from one speaker, but that's almost never happens anymore, just one speaker playing the audio. Usually we listen to stereo. If you've got headphones, for instance, that's stereo. If you've got two speakers, one on either side of your television, then that is stereo, two speakers. Some of us now have surround sound systems, such as 5.1 surround sound, which is technically 6 speakers, including the subwoofer, or even 7.1 surround sound, that's 8 total speakers. And now, in order to talk about speakers, you've got to also talk about microphones. A microphone records to a single channel. One recording is a single audio recording, and that's one channel of audio. Come on, PowerPoint, work with me here. A channel is a single audio recording. One microphone records to one channel, and each microphone only records to one channel. That means that a microphone is technically a mono source. A microphone cannot produce stereo sound because there's only one microphone. You'd need 2 microphones for stereo. So 2 channels would be stereo. Most student videos are stereo. Therefore, you need 2 microphones in order to record stereo. But there are some tricks that we can learn to get away with just one microphone in a video production class, and we'll talk about some of those tricks in the next lesson. But first, I want to cover a few things about the difference between tracks and channels. So one microphone records to one channel, you got that, but in video editing, we think in terms of tracks. A track is a container used by an editor to manage channels. We can think of a track of video, but we also have a track of audio. Editors have to think in terms of tracks when they're editing, and one video track exists for each video recording, and therefore one audio track corresponds to each video track. One track of video has a corresponding track of audio. Now, audio tracks can have multiple channels. Why? Well, for instance, a stereo track is one audio track, but it needs 2 channels of audio, a left and a right. To each one of those tracks came from one microphone, or you followed one of the tricks we're about to learn next. If you are editing in 5.1 surround sound, then your audio track needs to have 6 channels, one track for each of those 6 microphones feeding into a separate speaker through its channel. All you got to do is remember that each microphone records one channel, and then we put those channels into tracks when we edit, depending on what kind of project we're editing. If you want to record in surround sound, then you've got to record with lots of microphones.